Where is the outrage? Don't you even understand what's going on around you? There's a whole conspiracy going on, the biggest conspiracy cover-up ever known to man, because this is actually really sneaky and cunning. It's using the correct name of Yahusha and Yahuah, but it's leading you in the wrong direction. It's not taking you forward into new covenant realities, into the fresh blood, new hearing his voice relationship with Yahusha. No, it's taking you back to old ordinances of the old covenant, old animal blood, old priesthood, temple, sacraments, all those sort of things in the old scriptures, in the old historic document. That's what's happening in the believers right now. It's pretty obvious the Christians are off their face and mad with their Catholicism and Pentecostalism and everything. Even the reformists are mad. And then you've got this whole Jewish movement going on. And they're all brought into this messianic swill to line up at the gate. And who do they meet? Those people who think, oh, there's got to be more to life. There's got to be, why am I here on this earth? And they start crying out and seeking their creator. They start seeking the answers, and they run into these deadheads who know all the answers, they think. They know the Jewish side and they know the Christian side, and they've mixed it all together, and they've even written their own scripture versions and replaced bits and pieces that they don't like or they don't agree with, that doesn't adhere to their doctrines. New has been taken out and renewed has been inserted in there. Done lots of videos on these topics over the years, but it's a big conspiracy because it goes directly against the character, the nature, the whole purpose of Yahusha, metamorphing from his throne as Yahuah to earth to die for us, to deliver us, to make all things new. It doesn't just affect the past, the present, it also affects the doctrines regarding the future as well. And people are being led up the garden path and they're being deceived into thinking they might get a second chance. I don't really have to, fight. I don't really have to overcome. I know the scripture says I have to, but I don't really have to because there'll be a second chance. Yahusha loves me. The Yahusha I know is just full of love and benevolence and compassion. He wouldn't dare. He loves me. I'm me. Doesn't he know me? What's wrong with everybody? Don't they appreciate me? Don't they recognize the true value of me? Yahusha wouldn't dare. He would give me a second chance because I'm so wonderful. And this is what's been pumped, smoke, just blowing smoke up people's asses. They don't have a clue. The severity, the urgency of what's about to happen. There's only a year or so left on this planet. I believe 2027 is the year based on the Jubilees and all that sort of stuff. But Yahusha said he could come back early. We've been saying this for nearly 2 years now. The 3.5 years, we're living in that 3.5 years. We don't know when it started, but he's going to come back earlier. And people are being led in the wrong direction by these carpetbaggers, by these preachers, teachers, pastors, rabbis, Christians, Jews, Messianics and Nazrim, all teaching you to go back. There's safety in the Sabbath. There's safety in the 7 feasts. If you do those things, if you wear your 𝗓𝗓𝗓𝗓𝗓𝗓𝗓𝗓, if you blow your shofars on the new moon, if you do those sort of things, looking at the moon. And where's the behavior? Where's the new royal laws of love that Yahusha brought in? Yes, new. Yeah. He was quoting old scriptures, but the concept, because nobody could do them. You had no power back then, because there's no power in animal blood. There's no true deliverance. There were a handful of men and women that walked with him, but they didn't know what the new followers of Yahusha knew, to have him living inside you. That's Messiah within. That's the great secret, the mystery, the secret that Yahusha spoke about, to have me, Yahusha, Messiah, living within you. They couldn't have that until he died and made access through the dimensions on the portal of their hearts. This is the biggest thing that's going on. They're stopping you from knowing Yahusha, stopping you from hearing his voice, but as long as you read your daily devotionals, as long as you meditate on the word And as long as you go back to the old shadows, because everything's going to be renewed. That covenant he made with Abraham, that's going to be renewed. With Moses on Mount Sinai, that's going to be renewed. The Ten Commandments, renewed. David, renewed. Palestinian covenant, Noah's covenant, Adam's covenant, all the covenants, renewed. Yahusha just renewed it. He just gave it a bit of a spit paint job, a bit of Botox, a bit of this. He just revitalised it. Restoration theology, they call it. Restoration. And don't dare say the word replacement anywhere, because you'll be a replacement theologist then. No way. Yahusha does replace things. Yahusha does breathe new life into things. He creates things new. He turns water into wine. He takes away sickness and diseases. He creates new people, taking demons out of them. He exorcises them. He transforms us. He delivers us. He makes us new creatures. He promises us that. Look up all the scriptures that have the word new in it, that these bastards have taken out that word and put renewed in, to give you a new sense of doctrine. Oh, there's going to be a renewed heaven. Is there a renewed earth? And that renewed earth, there'll be some people who survive on it for the 1,000 years millennial. They'll be scarcer than the gold of Ophir, though. Yeah. Do you know how scarce it was? It's impossible to find. That's how many people will be left. None. Impossible to survive if you've got any sin or defilement in you. And how can you not, when you haven't been told that there's a spirit and fire baptism to cleanse you, to rebirth? The Spirit rebirths a new person, a new being, and the fire purifies, purges. You're putting on the stake everything, lifting up as a daily sacrifice everything that's to go. Are these bastards telling you any of this? Just love one another, just be the bride, just love one another. They don't know anything. They're preaching and teaching you the wrong doctrine, the wrong Besorah, the wrong gospel. They're teaching you the wrong Yahusha. And because they know the name of Yahusha, you think, oh, nobody else out there knows Yahusha's name. This must be correct. No, they're pointing you. They're taking you back. They are replacing Yahusha's work on the torture stake, in which he said, it is finished. Shalom. It is finished. All that back there, all the Torah and the prophets that I am fulfilling, it is finished. And how did he prove it? The Jews at the time, who just poo-pooed what he'd done and kept going on for the next 40 odd years with their animal sacrifices, after Yahusha died with his pure spotless blood and presented it in the heavenly sanctuary as the lamb freshly slain, the Jews just kept going on, status quo for the next 40 years. What did he do to show them that you're off your face and you are defiled and what you are doing is an abomination? He wiped out their temple once and for all. It's never been restored since. They're itching, chomping at the bit, ravaging, trying to get this temple built again today. The Jews are behind every abomination in the earth today. Everything, political, commerce, commercial, everything in society, media, the Jews are behind it. They are the false bride. They are the whore riding the beast. They are the ex-wife of Yahuah, declaring as she does, I'm not a widow. I'm not a divorcee. I'm not the ex. I am the El Supremo. Follow me, bitches. This is me. And she's in the world doing it. In the world doing it. And she's got all the Messianics and Nazarene on the side. Don't dare speak out about the Jews. The older brother, don't you dare. No way. This is the conspiracy. This is the hidden cover-up to stop you from being truly delivered. Because if you can bypass all this and go in the narrow gate, go in the door of Yahusha, you might just be free, delivered. And they don't want that, because then you won't need to buy their books. Then you won't need their counsel or their advice. You won't need to be paying them all your money. They might have to go and get a real job, a real day job, instead of living off yours. It's a real wicked system going on, brothers and sisters. One lady this morning on YouTube said, I've just gone through my B, Y, and V, and I've taken off the re and I've taken off the ED. So now it says, doesn't say renewed, it says new. I said, good on you, love, that's great. You know, it's a good idea. Renewed. It's not just the B, Y, and V, the ISR, Scripture Institute for Scripture Research has done it, and all these other versions. We've done videos on it the last week or so. The big cover-up, the big conspiracy. This is the true replacement theology, if you really want to know. The real replacement theology is not replacing Yahusha, it is replacing everything Yahusha did. And taking us back to the old covenant, the old priesthood, old commandments, old shadow teachings and feasts and Sabbaths and priesthood. That's who they all think they are now, declaring it openly. And if you dare say, your 10 commandments are great, but Yahusha brought in 2, of which all the Torah and prophets hang. So if you're doing all the Torah and the prophets, but you're not loving Yahusha with all your heart, mind, body, strength, and loving your neighbour as yourself, all this is useless, because all this is fulfilled in love. So why don't you just do this? Because if you're obeying and loving Yahusha, you know what the true Sabbath is. You know what the true rest, what the true peace is. And it's actually, because we're in the 6th day still, it's about midnight nearly, but it's still the 6th day. You know what the true Sabbath preparation is. You know that it's preparing for the true eternal Sabbath, the true 7th day, the true millennial and eternal rest. You know what it means. You're looking at the Scriptures supernaturally. The Scriptures are a supernatural book and a behavioural manual. Not to take you back to doing 7 feasts of the year. What do you think those 7 feasts, redemptive feasts, deliverance feasts were for? Read them and see, that's just like an illustration of how I'm being delivered. I don't have to go along with the blood. I don't have to go along with the matzah and the leaven and all that, because leaven is sin. He doesn't want me in sin. He wants me clean. He wants me overcome. All these things, if you look at every single feast, the shofars, the Day of Atonement, Sukkoth or Tabernacles, all these feasts that they go on with, they're all fulfilled in Yahusha, who fulfills them in us. So, but they won't tell you that, no, because they want you to go back. They are replacing Yahusha with old stuff. Yahusha wants you new, brand new. Not new to go and sin, not new to go and worship the sun like the Christians or get into Jesus. No, we're not into any of that. No, because that's abominable. He hates abomination. He hates what the Christians do. He hates what the Jews do. And he most certainly hates this swill in the middle. This messianic Nazarene swill. They got a bit of old and they got a bit of new and they got a bit of Jesus and they got a bit of Yahusha and they got a bit of God and a bit of Elohim and they've got some feasts and they got this and they got that. They're preaching and they've got all this swill, and it's confusion. And who is the author of confusion? That's all I wanted to say. This is an outrage. As Christopher said yesterday, when Victoria spoke about all these things and pulled up all the scriptures about new and renewed and how it's been a giant cover-up and what these preachers and teachers have been doing for 50 odd years. And Christopher watched her video and said, how come there's not people outraged? Where's the backbone? People just must be asleep in their sin. Scripture says that. It's true. Who cares? Who's said a word about it? Nobody. Where's your gumption? Where's your backbone? Where's your cojones to stand up and say, I believe this. I'm not having this in my household, my quarry. I'm not having this in my mindset. Renewed? No way. No way. Look up the Hebrew word for new. There's 5, 6, 7, 8 definitions. One of them says renewed restoration. All the others say fresh, new from the womb, new from the grape of the vine, new from fruit, new. No, we'll just pick that little bit there that says renewed, because that suits our ideology and our theology. absolute wickedness, brothers and sisters, and you're all following along with it. Not saying anything. Because how dare anybody say anything about these lovely, nice people that yell at you through the camera? It's so boring. They're taking you right back to a divorced ex-wife to have you behave like she was. Run, brothers and sisters. It's all crumbling. Christianity, Christendom, Catholicism is all crumbling. The Jewish religion is crumbling. And all the messianic swill in the middle that's following all her systems, all her behaviours, are crumbling as well. The world has no respect for religion. That's why you've got to be so cunning and gentle and clever and listening to Yahusha. If you want to catch any fish, you can't talk scripture. No, you can't. No, because people will be catching on to that. Oh, you're one of those door knockers. Oh, you're one of those weird people, weird religious freaks. No, you've got to be. That's what religion's done. And they're still doing it. Even the Nazarene are pumping all these tracts and things to get into people's faces and piss them off and annoy them. That's not how Yahusha is. Yahusha behaved the love. He behaved the fruits of the Spirit right in front of people. And that's how his disciples did it. And that's how we want to do it. That's how we should be doing it. Loving those in our home first, loving those in our community second, loving those and helping. That's what we're called to do. So it is an outrage. I'm outraged. I hate it. And I don't mind telling you. Two-faced, wicked, no apology, no nothing. They'll love us to apologise, wouldn't they? They'll all have us making videos about apologies, yeah, but they will never. They're relentless. They will not apologise. They are gutless. They are cold-hearted. The love has gone cold in all those camps. They are just here to tickle your ears so they don't have to work, really work for a living. Pumping a conspiracy. All those conspiracy theorists out there, put this in your pipe and smoke it. The new, renewed conspiracy. You're not going to make it. You will not be chosen if you do not come into the new covenant that Yahusha instituted in his fresh new blood. He was a new creature, of which there's never been one since. There's no species like him. Plenty of men and women, plenty of angels and spirits and demons and whatnot, seraphim, cherubim, all that. Plenty of species, both supernatural and in the natural. There's no one like him who can travel between dimensions, who can walk through walls, who can, hey, look, I'm real. Put your fingers in the hole, Thomas. Look, I'm real. And then disappears. And eat and drink and yet disappear. There's no species like him. He was a new creature, a new creation, the first fruit of a new creation. And we're following him. We're being trained and transformed through the vein of deliverance, that golden vein, that scarlet thread through the scripture. We're following him through the vein of deliverance, through the Spirit and fire baptism, into our quarries, taking our deliverance into our quarries to live it, to try our hardest to influence and affect those in our home. Otherwise, who else can we affect? Oh, we can turn the camera on and pretend we're celebrities. Yeah. Good luck with that. We have to get into the wilderness of waiting because there's not long, as I said, not long left. Brothers and sisters, don't get ripped off. I don't want anything from you. I don't want your money. I don't want to deceive you. I just want the best. I just want you to know that you've been lied to, and there's not enough time left for you to wade through this for 15 years like we had to, cutting the corners for everybody. There's no time left. The call is going out. The bridegroom is coming. And the bride, both wise and foolish, all maidens are falling asleep. It's time to know. It's time to have your oil. It's time to have the truth. Yahusha is new. He's making us new, delivered, clean, This is outrageous that they are stealing people's deliverance, putting them in seminaries, putting them in, 5-6 hour long talks every Sabbath, washing their minds with nonsense, fooling them and brainwashing them. Yahusha's new. His city will be new. Everything about him is new and clean and fresh, and we have to be the same. I've rambled on for 20 minutes now because it's outrageous, and I want you to know, find the truth. Ask Google, ask AI. It'll give you all the answers. It's not biased. It can only give you, it can't feel or give you supernatural answers, but it can give you history to what's been listed, and search and find for yourself. There's men and women standing in the gate, stopping you from being delivered. You might know Yahusha's name, but you know that you're not happy. You know you don't feel rivers of living water gushing from your innermost being 24/7. You know it, but you won't admit it. Well, admit it and be honest and cry out to Yahusha, seek me and you will find me. Hunger and thirst for righteousness, to be right with him. You don't get right by him by doing 10 commandments. You get right by him by doing what those commandments mean in your behavior, in your life. That's how you get right with him. Men of old, before the 10 commandments even got instituted, were right. Enoch was snatched away because he was right. Noah was right. Abraham was right, righteous. All these men were righteous, and women, some of them. So it's not about the 10 commandments. They were a summary for the time. And now Yahusha summarized, even 2,000 years ago, he summarized them again. Love. It's all about love. And you know if you're doing it or not, and you know if he feels happy with your behavior or if he doesn't feel happy with your behavior. And you know, give yourself a percentage. You know whether you're there or not, what you have to overcome, what you have to give up. You know all these things. Don't listen to these bastards. Wacky beardo bastards. That's what they are. They're stopping your growth. Seek Yahusha. Find Yahusha, and you won't need any interpreter. He will send you the great interpreter. It's him. It's his spirit within you, and you can read the text supernaturally and go, oh, it's all, from Genesis to Revelation, it's all a behavioural manual. So if you're reading the scriptures to get anything but behaviour out of it, you are lost. I love you, brothers and sisters. I don't want anything bad for you. Time is short. The call has gone out. The bridegroom is coming, and we have to become new. Through his spirit, through his fire, baptism, we have to become it. Stay strong and run your race. Come out of her, my people, lest you share in her plagues. The world is being bombarded with plagues as we speak. Run for your life.